What is up, YouTube? It's the right gamer with the right channel and the right content. We are back with another video. Today we are going to be looking at some NBA Twitter hot takes. Now I don't have any video ideas left because I'm working on a huge free agency video, so this will have to do. Also, I didn't want to go missing weeks at a time again, so here you go. New video. Take it. If my voice sounds a little bit groggy, that's because it's 6 in the morning and I haven't gone to sleep yet. Anyways, without further ado, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, all that stuff. And let's get straight into the video. Shout out to this guy on Twitter. His link will be down in the description. Also, side note, I make custom wallpapers. If you want one, DM me on Twitter. My link will be down in the description, or just ask for one in the comments and I'll figure out how to get in contact with you. If Russell Westbrook could shoot, the NBA would be terrified of him. I agree and disagree with this one because yes, Westbrook's skill set on paper would be phenomenal if he could actually shoot. But then again, his IQ still comes into question. Whether you can shoot or not, a hyper-contested shot is a hyper-contested shot regardless. You know, the bad IQ mistakes that he makes right now, he would still make then, theoretically. So, overall, I would say I disagree, but his skill set would be kind of awesome. In terms of defense, Kobe and LeBron are greater than Jordan. I'm going to have to go with disagree here because in my opinion, Michael Jordan is the greatest perimeter defender of all time. And the only thing, for Kobe you could kind of argue, but you know, Michael Jordan has more all defensive teams. He has a defensive player of the year, so he would put him slightly above Kobe. For LeBron, the only thing that he has defensively above Jordan really is versatility, and that is only because he's 6'8", 260, or 6'8", 280, whatever weight he is. So that's basically his physical elements give him versatility, but versatility doesn't really mean everything in defense. You could be 6'8", 240, but not have the IQ, and I think that's what it is. Just the IQ and the defensive know-how is just not there for LeBron. Plus, it hurts that he kind of stopped trying a lot of times in his career. So I would have to hit you with a disagree on this one. Markelle Fultz will be an all-star if he's healthy. Again, I'm going to have to hit you with a disagree. I feel like even when he comes back fully healthy, he's going to come back slow. He's still going to be kind of feeling out the NBA. He's basically still going to be a rookie, in my opinion, really, because he hasn't done much. He's just been injured for his whole NBA career. So even if he comes back healthy, he's still going to be feeling everything out. And since he's not one of those generational stars, I don't think he's just going to come in and do great things right off the jump. I think he has the potential to become an all-star in the future if he's healthy. But right now, even if he's healthy, he's going to come back slow. So I'm going to say disagree for this one. Magic Johnson is the GOAT PG, but isn't a top 10 player ever. Once again, I'm going to have to go disagree on this one. I feel like Magic Johnson is easily a top 10 player ever. In my opinion, he is the 3rd greatest player ever. But, you know, he's the greatest passer ever. I think 4-time assist champion. You know, I believe 5-time NBA champion. And he had a limited time in his career because of his disease. But while he was playing, he was easily the most dominant point guard in league history. He not really dominance in like scoring, but just like taking over a game with everything he could do. And even though one of the arguments this guy used is that he had 0 all defensive team selections, but you know that like he was very versatile defensively and offensively. And I know I said earlier that versatility isn't everything, but you could see that he used it to his advantage while he played. One immediate example is, of course, everybody knows the story of him playing all 5 positions in the NBA Finals and actually winning that NBA Finals. And even though he doesn't have any defensive team selections, he was still an all-around pretty good defensive player. Plus, on offense, he ran the Showtime Lakers, so he was a great passer. He could score when needed. Magic Johnson is just so freaking amazing. I could talk about him all day, but overall, I'm just going to have to put a disagree on this one. Jordan would be DeMar DeRozan if he played today. I've seen this take so many times that it's hurting me at this point. Michael Jordan would be DeMar DeRozan if he played today. He wasn't nothing. That was a weak arrow. Blah, 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 all of that. I'm assuming that's what realm this guy's in. But, disagree. Michael Jordan, although Michael Jordan and DeMar DeRozan have kind of similar skill sets, like, they have similar skill sets. Like, DeMar DeRozan is a mid-range god. In today's NBA, Michael Jordan is possibly the greatest mid-range shooter that we've ever seen. You know, and they both have the paint in the mid-range with not very reliable three-point shots. But the thing about Michael Jordan is that, first of all, he is an all-time great defender. He is an all-time great clutch player. He has killer mentality. Those are three things that DeMar DeRozan has never been and probably never will be. No offense to DeMar DeRozan, he's a really good player, but there's no way that he's on the level of Michael Jordan. And also, you know, what? Tim Duncan is better than Kobe, but people only disagree because of how flashy Kobe was compared to Duncan's style of play. Finally, we got one. I'm gonna agree with this particular hot take because I do have Tim Duncan higher on my all-time list than I do have Kobe Bryant.
You what?
And the main reason for that is because Tim Duncan was just barely, throughout his career, even when he was playing, like when he was older, he just barely ever made mistakes. Like, he has one moment in his career, I think when he like missed a layup that could have won him a championship, something like that. But other than that, he just barely ever made mistakes. He was just one of the most consistent players that we've ever seen in the 2000s and of all time. And I do kind of agree with the Kobe flashiness thing because Kobe has more quote-unquote iconic moments, more, you know, like career highlight type things. And Tim Duncan was more of a, again, quote-unquote boring player. But that was just due to the fact that he had all of his fundamental downs and he never did too much, but he also never did too little. He just did what he had to do to win the game, and he just stuck to that and nothing else. And that's something that we really appreciate about Tim Duncan, and he goes really underappreciated a lot of times when we're talking about our top 10 players of all time. And I completely agree with this take. Although Kobe is a really great player, he is also a top 10 player of all time. He's not better than Tim Duncan in my opinion. Luol Deng should have won at least one Defensive Player of the Year. Now, this one's kind of a weird one because I do disagree in a way. Like, I don't think he should have won a Defensive Player of the Year award necessarily, but he really should have gotten a lot more recognition for his play on the defensive end especially, but his all-around play while he was in his prime, because he was a really good player in his prime. He was one of the best two-way players in the league. He could constantly give you 17 points, 5 or 6 rebounds, a few assists on some good efficiency, and also give you a lead defense on the other end. And he was a core part of those Bulls teams back in the good old days when, you know, Derrick Rose had knees and they worked well. He was a really good player, so I feel like he should have got more recognition on both sides of the ball and all around. But Defensive Player of the Year, not quite. So technically I disagree, but more defensive team selection probably would have worked for him. Dion Waiters is a top 5 shooting guard in this league, but his injuries have held him back these past few years. On a serious note, no, Dion Waiters, he's a good player, and I do agree that his injuries have held him back for the past few years, but top 15, okay, you could kind of argue that. 5? No.
John Wall was the best point guard in the East from 2014 to 2018.
10-minute video and we're not monetized. I agree with this one. I've been arguing this for years until he got injured, and this past season, is 2019 season, 2018, yeah, okay, but 2019, but anyway, I have been arguing this for very many years. I believe that John Wall was the best point guard in the East, and actually the second best point guard in the NBA behind Stephen Curry for a long time now, because he was really the only one of them. He was just doing a lot of things well during that time span. He was one of the best finishing point guards in the NBA. He was one of the fastest point guards in the NBA. He was one of the best passing point guards in the NBA. He was one of the best defending point guards in the NBA. The only thing he really couldn't do was shoot. And I can't lie, he took a few too many jump shots, but he did have a lot of IQ. He just, when he was open, he took them, when sometimes he probably shouldn't have, but that probably would have shown as a liability to his team. But when he was open, he hit them sometimes. But 2014 and 2018, John Wall was a really good John Wall, and I hope he comes back the same, because I feel like some people forgot how good John Wall was. So I really agree with this one.
If Rondo didn't get injured, the 2016-2017 Bulls would have made the finals.
Yep, that's me. The reason why I believe this take is because in this year, the Bulls were kind of underrated. Like, they knew how to beat the Boston Celtics, and more importantly, they knew how to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I know that the regular season doesn't tell the whole story, but you could just, like, when I was watching it, there was like, oh, this team is a threat. Like, I saw this team as a threat to win the East, because they could beat the top dogs of the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. And in the playoffs, they were up 2-0. If you don't remember, they were up 2-0 against the Boston Celtics until Rondo got injured, and I believe they would have won that series. Of course, you never know, but I believe that they would have won that series if Rondo hadn't gone down. And then the only team, assuming that they would have beat the Cavs like they did in the regular season, the only team that would have been a toss-up would be the Washington Wizards, and I feel like they matched up really well with them, with Rondo on John Wall, and Jimmy Butler on Bradley Beal, and Otto Porter being guarded by Dwayne Wade. So I feel like it just worked out. Like, they had good matchups with the top teams in the East that would really be contending to reach the finals. And I feel like if Rondo hadn't gone down and they kept that momentum that they had in the first playoff series against the Celtics, then they would have went to the NBA Finals. But you let me know if you agree with me in the comments below. Hey, what's up, guys? Different location, but thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Follow me on my Twitter. You saw it on the watermark. It was AJ at AJTWGYT. We talk about the NBA over there, obviously. That's just what I do. And I probably need to go to sleep since it's now 7 in the morning and I haven't slept. So, I'm out. Peace.